Have you ever wondered how narcissistic abuse can have legal and financial implications on the victims? This question might seem a bit far-fetched at first glance, but as we peel back the layers of this complex issue, it becomes starkly apparent how deeply entwined these elements truly are. Narcissistic abuse is a form of emotional and psychological maltreatment perpetrated by individuals who exhibit patterns of grandiosity, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot these days, but the true depth of its destructive power is often underestimated. The ripple effect of this form of abuse extends far beyond the emotional and psychological realms, often leading to serious legal and financial consequences for the victims. You see, narcissistic individuals tend to manipulate their victims into situations that can lead to legal entanglements. For instance, they might coerce their partners into signing contracts or making financial decisions that are not in their best interest. They may also use their manipulative tactics to gain control over shared assets or to evade their financial responsibilities. Likewise, the victims of narcissistic abuse often find themselves in financial dire straits. The abuser might control their access to money, leaving them financially dependent and vulnerable. Or the abuser might engage in financial gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation where they make their victims question their own understanding and perception of financial matters. It's a grim picture indeed, but it's a reality that countless individuals face every day, often without realizing the full extent of their situation. The ramifications can be far-reaching, affecting not only the victim's emotional and psychological health, but also their financial stability and legal standing. But here's the thing. Understanding these implications is the first step towards finding a way out. Knowledge is power, and with the right information and resources, victims can begin to navigate these complex challenges and start rebuilding their lives. Let's delve into real-life cases that illustrate these challenges. With these examples, we can further illuminate the hidden costs of narcissistic abuse and hopefully provide a beacon of hope for those navigating these murky waters. Consider the story of Jane, a survivor of narcissistic abuse. Jane was a vibrant, independent woman who found herself entangled in a web of manipulation and control. Her journey through the legal system was a complex maze, filled with challenges that many survivors of narcissistic abuse face. Jane's abuser was cunning, using the legal system as an instrument to further his control and abuse. He manipulated the facts, twisting Jane's words and actions to paint her as the villain. This led to a series of prolonged court battles that drained Jane both emotionally and financially. The legal system, a place where justice should prevail, became a battleground where the narcissist continued his campaign of abuse. He filed frivolous lawsuits, lodged false allegations, and used the courts as a tool of intimidation. This is not uncommon in cases of narcissistic abuse, where the abuser often uses the legal system to maintain control and inflict further harm. Jane was forced to shoulder hefty legal fees, an expense she had not anticipated. She was caught in a cycle of defending herself against baseless accusations, all while trying to navigate the complexities of the legal system. This financial burden is a common plight faced by many survivors, adding to the trauma and stress of their situation. The narcissist's manipulation extended beyond the courtroom. He used the children as pawns, weaponizing custody battles to further torment Jane. This is a classic tactic used by narcissistic abusers, exploiting the love and concern a parent has for their child. Jane's story is a chilling illustration of how the legal system can be exploited by narcissistic abusers, leading to prolonged legal battles, financial strain, and further emotional trauma. It highlights the urgent need for legal professionals to understand and recognize the dynamics of narcissistic abuse to prevent the system from being manipulated in this way. Jane's story is a stark reminder of the legal hurdles faced by many survivors. It underscores the importance of equipping ourselves with knowledge and resources to navigate these challenges effectively, and the critical role that legal support plays in the journey towards recovery. Now, meet John, another survivor whose life was turned upside down by financial abuse. John, a hardworking individual, fell into a relationship with a narcissist. He was gradually manipulated into a position where his finances were completely controlled by his abuser. Just imagine this. You start by sharing a bank account, thinking it's a sign of trust. Then you find yourself cut off from accessing your own earnings. You're left in the dark about where the money is going. Soon you're told how much you can spend. And before you know it, your financial independence is stripped away. This was John's reality. John's abuser used financial control as a weapon, a common tactic in narcissistic abuse. It's a way to strip the victim of their autonomy, leaving them vulnerable and dependent. It's a form of control that's not just about money, it's about power. John's abuser was cunning. They racked up enormous debts in his name, leaving him financially drained. His credit was ruined, making it nearly impossible for him to secure loans or even rent an apartment. He was left facing substantial debt with no means to pay it off. It felt like a financial prison from which escape seemed impossible. But John's story doesn't end there. Despite the financial devastation, he found the strength to break free from the abuse. He started to rebuild his life, bit by bit, dollar by dollar. It wasn't easy, but he was determined to regain control over his finances and his life. John's experience sheds light on the financial devastation that narcissistic abuse can cause. It's a stark reminder that abuse isn't always physical. It can be hidden in bank accounts and credit card statements. It's a form of control that can leave lasting scars long after the relationship has ended. As we move forward, let's keep John's story in mind. It's a powerful testament to the resilience of survivors and a reminder of the importance of financial independence. Remember, financial abuse is not your fault, and there are resources available to help you regain control. Don't be afraid to reach out and seek help, because like John, you too can overcome these challenges. So, how do survivors like Jane and John navigate these challenges? First and foremost, it's essential to seek legal counsel. Now, this may seem like a daunting task, especially when you're already dealing with a lot. But remember, a good lawyer will not only help you understand your rights, but also guide you through the legal maze. They'll stand as your advocate, ensuring that your voice is heard and your interests are protected. Next, we cannot stress enough the importance of documenting abuse. Whether it's emails, text messages, or even voicemails, having a record of the abuse can be a powerful tool in your legal journey. It's tangible proof of what you've been through, and it can make a world of difference in your case. Now, let's talk about finances. Establishing financial independence is crucial. If you're in a situation where your finances are controlled by the abuser, it's time to take steps towards gaining control. Open your own bank account if you don't have one. Start saving, no matter how small the amount may be. And if you're not familiar with managing finances, consider taking financial literacy classes. Knowledge, after all, is power. Finally, remember you're not alone. There are numerous organizations dedicated to helping survivors of abuse. They offer a range of services, from legal aid and financial counseling to emotional support. Reach out to them. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's okay to lean on others when you're working through something as challenging as this. No one should have to navigate the aftermath of narcissistic abuse alone. But the unfortunate reality is that many survivors find themselves facing these legal and financial challenges. It's a difficult journey, no doubt, but it's not an impossible one. With the right resources and support, survivors can reclaim their lives and overcome these challenges. So what does the road to recovery look like for survivors of narcissistic abuse? Let's recap on what we've covered so far. We've explored the hidden cost of narcissistic abuse, delved into real-life case studies, and discussed the legal and financial challenges faced by survivors. We've recognized that the road to recovery is not always easy, but it's crucial to remember that there are steps you can take to navigate these challenges. Firstly, understand that these experiences were not your fault. Narcissistic abuse is a complex form of manipulation that leaves survivors feeling powerless and confused. But acknowledging the abuse is the first step towards recovery. We've discussed the legal implications of narcissistic abuse. From custody battles to property disputes, the legal system can seem like a daunting labyrinth. But remember, you have rights. Seek legal advice, know your rights, and stand firm in the face of adversity. We've also delved into the financial consequences of such abuse. Financial control is a common tactic used by narcissists to maintain power. You may find yourself facing debt, bad credit, or even homelessness. But there are resources available. Reach out to financial advisors, utilize debt management programs, and take steps towards financial independence. Breaking the cycle of abuse is paramount. It's about taking back control, setting boundaries, and prioritizing your own well-being. Reach out to support networks, join survivor groups, and consider therapy or counseling as part of your recovery process. There's no right way to heal. It's about finding what works best for you. It's important to remember that you don't have to face this journey alone. There are countless individuals and organizations out there who are ready and willing to help. It's okay to ask for support. It's okay to take the time you need to heal. The road to recovery may be long and winding, but it's a journey worth taking. The resilience you've shown so far is a testament to your strength. Remember, you're not alone in this fight. There's help available, and with time, resilience, and support, you can navigate the aftermath of narcissistic abuse.